first flower, anemone. These are so pretty. And what I wanted to do is basically I wanted us to go from easy to a little less easy. So we're gonna start off with a flower that has like really big petals so that you can understand how drawing a flower works. So typically when we draw a flower, also I'm using this vellum paper just so I can draw on top of it, and hopefully you guys can understand the process. So I'm going to be using this pencil for right now so that you can see the pencil marks. Usually when you draw a flower, or when we look at a flower, we're thinking circle, circle, right? Because we're looking at it head on. So we have this big circle and then little circle, right? So it kind of looks like that. I don't know if it's a little hard to see. Right? And then basically we see our petals go like that. But I know that you guys can totally draw petals in a different angle. So when we see a flower kind of flipped, there's a little bit more of an oval shape, right? So we're gonna start off with this guy right here, okay? And what I want you to do, I'm gonna draw it first, and then I'm gonna draw it on an actual piece of paper and then follow along. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. So the first step is to find the basic construction of a flower. And I always start, no matter what I'm drawing, I'm always starting with basic shapes. So what I see here are two circles, right? So I'm going to draw this circle right here and this circle right here. Okay, so that's going to look like this. If you're using a number 2 pencil, I suggest that you draw lightly so that it's just a little, so that you can erase these little pencil marks later. So I have this circle right here. And then this guy right here. Are we good? Give me a thumbs up if you are on track with me. And if not, let me know. But right now we are drawing the basic construction of a flower. Okay. Circle, circle. Yay. Okay, perfect. So next what we're going to do, I'm going to take it back here. You see these petals? We want to make sure that when we're drawing our petals later on, that they're going in the correct direction. So I'm going to use these little angles to kind of anchor myself. So that will look something like this. And I'm drawing basically the middle of the petal. So it'll look like that. So I'm just going to put this in the front right here, and we're going to draw those lines. One thing to really get good at drawing flowers or anything is obviously through observation, right? And what I really like about like having transparent paper is that I can study an object better when I place that transparent paper on top. So I have these lines right here. Everybody good? It seems like everyone's good. Okay, I'm going to move on. So what we did was first we drew the basic construction of the flower, and then we just finished drawing these little angles that will point our petals in the direction that we want to draw them. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the petals that come forward first. So you can see here that there's some petals that that overlap other ones that are on the bottom, right? So I'm going to draw this guy, probably this guy, and this guy. And again, I'm not going to go, oops, sorry. I'm just realizing you can't see everything that hold on, let me adjust. Okay, hopefully that's better. I am not going to draw the petals with full detail just yet. Like, I'm still focused on basic shapes, okay? So I see that this shape is like a circle. So I'm going to draw lightly a circle shape here. I see this little guy right here. This is at the edge of one petal. We don't see the full petal because it's going down into the stamen, right? So this oval right here. And then I see this guy and this guy. So I'm using this angle to guide me. This angle to guide me. Everybody good? Everyone doing okay? Everyone surviving? Give me a thumbs up if you are good. Give me a thumbs down if you need help. Okay, great. So far, one thumb up. Yay. I'm receiving hearts from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Okay. Yay. Okay, so going back from the beginning, we started off with basic shapes, circle and a circle. Then we added our angles to guide us where our petals are going to be. We just finished drawing the petals that are in the front. And now, if you can see this, we're going to start adding these petals that are underneath. So that just looks like little arcs like this. And use this big circle as a guide. Yeah? Cool. You guys, believe it or not, we're basically done. Okay. Okay, now, if you have a number 2 pencil, you can probably explore the like different strokes. Like you can create really light lines if you draw softly, and then if you press really hard, you can draw thicker lines. Are you guys able to do that? Hopefully you are. So what we're going to do now is basically we're going to clean up our lines. or I'm sorry, not clean up our lines. We're going to create defined lines, and then we're going to clean up the little pencil markings that we have underneath. So starting from here, right here, I'm going to draw, oops. I'm going to press down on my pencil, and I notice that there's a little bit of organic line right here. This is why I really like drawing like anything in nature, because they don't need to have very straight lines. Hey, Steph. Okay, so again, I'm gonna start with my my petals that are coming forward first. I saw this guy. And then this guy right here. And then I'm going to move on to the petals that are in the back. Cool. And then to the fun part, which is our stamen. Honestly, I would just draw this as little marks. So I'm just going to do this. And to kind of give it more dimension, I'm going to make this lower part a little darker. And you can do that by drawing more of those lines. Cool. And then that's basically it, guys. How easy was that? I'm going to start erasing these little marks over here and just clean it up. Again, if you're just tuning in, thank you so much. My name is Jacqueline of Yellow and Lace, and you are joining me in my donation-based art classes. If you feel like donating, that would be greatly appreciated. Again, this is free. You can invite your kids, you can invite whoever. Any donations could be made to my Venmo or be sent to my Venmo, which is at Yellow and Lace, and then my PayPal is yellowandlace@gmail.com. We just finished drawing an anemone, and the basic rules are basic shapes, finding the construction of the flower first. Then we went into drawing the petals, or the angles that will help show where my petals go. And then we started drawing the petals that were up in the front first, and then the petals in the back. And then at the end, you define your lines, and then you clean up. And I like to leave these little, lines here that kind of help the viewer know that the petals are curving in like that. Cool. How's everyone doing? Are we good? We're going to move on to drawing tulips. I'm going to draw, let me pull out my tulip photo. Yay. Okay. So now we're drawing tulips, guys, and we're going to add a stem. Okay. Super, super easy. And I understand that this shape is a little bit different, but the same basic rules apply. Okay. So I'm going to pull out my transparent paper again. Yay. Okay. And actually, before I start doing that, what does this look like to you? If anyone can answer, or just kind of give me your opinion on what a tulip kind of looks like. I'm going to wait a little bit. Anybody? Anybody? An egg? Okay. Spoons? Yeah, it looks like spoons. I'm actually just referring to this part right here. But yeah, an egg is a really good one. The answer I'm looking for is a cup. At least this part. This sort of looks like a cup. Yeah. So you can see that you can look inside the tulip in here, right? Oh, a crown's a good one. Yes, oval, egg, cup, great. See, this is all really important. The number one thing about drawing is being observant of what is in front of you. So that's awesome. Okay, so to draw to draw a tulip, okay, we're gonna draw this ellipse like that first. Cool. And then we're going to draw the cup. Actually, it kind of looks like the top of a wine glass. Can everybody see that? Okay. And basically, we're just going to draw a line like this. Wonk. So it should look like that. And I'm going to draw it myself here. Where is my pencil? Guys, I am not organized. I just saw my pencil. Okay, I'm just going to use another one. Okay. So this, and are we drawing a bouquet? So draw it next to. You can if you want. I'm thinking that drawing a bouquet would be a little too advanced for any kids that were joining us, so we're drawing individual flowers today. But if you want to, feel free to do so. And then a line. Are we good? Okay. So the next thing, oops. This time, because the petals seem to be going in a little bit more, I'm just going to draw basic shapes that I see using this guide that I've drawn for myself. So the one that I see is this big one right here. I'm going to draw an oval. And I see this one right here off to the side, the petal inside view. That's another oval. Okay. I'm going to do that here. So I see an oval. Oop. I see an oval here. And an oval here. All right. And then we're going to start moving or going back. So I see this little petal right here. I'm looking at this guy next. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's one right here. And another one here. Super easy, right? Anybody have questions? Nope, 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 nope. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So the next thing I'm going to do is draw this stem right here. And it's a very thick stem, so it should look something like this. And obviously, if you know anything about tulips, they have these very long leaves. So I'm not going to go into detail just yet, but I'm just going to draw kind of like, it's not a triangle, but there's going to be a point over there. You guys, super easy, right? So the last thing we're going to do is basically we're going to really look at this tulip and try to get the details. Ryan, why are you giving me that face? Okay. We're going to observe the tulip and really look at the details. So I'm using pressure to make my line really dark. And I'm starting again with the petals that are more toward the front. So I don't know if you can see this. There's a little dip here. So again, these are organic things to draw, so they don't need to be perfect. And then darken my line. In this photo, we have the leaf in the front. So I'm going to and then draw that one. And then I'm gonna go clean up my lines. Anything that I left behind. This line doesn't need to be there. Okay, and let's try something a little different. We're going to add a little bit of details to it. So we're going to draw, remember those angles that we drew for those other petals? We're gonna do the same thing just so that our viewers can tell that our flower or our petal is curving. Like that. And then we can even add a little bit of shading there. And that's it. You got your tulip. Everybody good? Did you guys like this one? I know it's a little bit more difficult, but hopefully you are understanding that the same rules apply. Okay, so there's definitely a basic shape. We started with that cup shape, just drew a straight line. And then when we got to the petals, we are drawing little shapes that we see, and then we go back and define our lines and add detail. Yay. Okay, on to our last one. Let me pull out the picture. We're going to draw, it's getting harder, guys, a daffodil. We're basically going to combine what we learned from the anemone and the tulip and apply it to this guy. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So, I'm going to grab my transparent paper. Actually, let's just talk about this. What are the shapes that you see here? I see a circle here. A circle here. Sorry, I'll draw them darker. This guy looks like a horn. Yeah. But even oh, are you talking about a triangle like this or within the petals? I can see it if it's like that. But there's a circle here, circle here. It looks like a horn. And I see another circle within this bigger circle. Yeah, it looks like a bell, totally. Okay, and believe it or not, there's another like oval shape here. So we're always thinking in basic shapes, okay? The most basic that you can see. So it should look something like that. And also another thing about drawing, when you're drawing, when you see a basic shape, always draw all the way through, even if it goes through the other things, so that you can get the shape in correctly. Cool? Okay, I think I'm just gonna continue drawing on this transparent paper because this one's a lot. Okay, what do you think I'm going to ask you to do next? Can anyone answer me? I'm going to add the angles of the petals. Okay, so I'll be drawing this angle, this one, and this one. Okay, so if this is your, sorry, I can't figure out what, oh, there you go. This is a little better. Let me put a white paper underneath so it's clear. There you go. Okay, so I see from the bottom of this, by the way, you guys, I was trying to look up the different parts of a daffodil because I didn't know what this was called. And you know what it's called? It's called corona, which obviously just means crown, and it looks like a crown, but I just thought that was really funny. Okay, so this one is what I see that's really obvious to me. So the direction of that petal, this one, this one, this one, and this guy. Okay. So I want to focus on the petals first because this guy kind of looks a little bit more complicated, and we'll tackle that right after the petals. So I'm going to start with the petals that come out at me first, the ones that are in the front, and to me it's this one and this guy. So just draw a general shape of what you see. And then I'm going to go to the ones toward the back. Oh, it is coming out very, very lightly. Let me draw a little darker. Cool. If you feel confident about getting the shape of the petals already, feel free to draw any points that you see. So it kind of looks like just a bunch of leaves. Okay. And then the next thing, we're going to tackle this guy. I'm going to use a different color because the red, just so that you can see it more clearly. I see the base right here. We can define that. We can define the sides. And I would interpret these as little squigglies. So I'm going to use this outer circle that I drew here to kind of draw okay. And since this is kind of like a horn, right? We need to draw this guy right here to indicate that we're looking inside. Make sense? Cool. Okay, guess what? We're already at the finish line. So now we're gonna really define our lines. And just for this example, I'm gonna use my darker, or I'm gonna use my brush pen just so that you guys can see it on this. So you can, oh, I'm so sorry. I take that back. We're gonna make sure that we look at some details of this flower. I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can see a little bit of the backside of this petal. And that's gonna look like this. So I got that basic shape here. And then I'm gonna draw another line on the left side to make it look like it's curving over or folding over. Does that make sense? I'm gonna do the same thing for this guy here. I'm gonna make sure that I'm really observing what the petals look like. And if you see closely, there's another fold. So I'm gonna draw a little line right here. And then define my other petals. If you want to draw those angles, I think that would be a really great idea. And again, I don't know if you can really see it, but you can see the stamen in there. Is it stamen? Stamen. And I just drew a little squiggly thing in there. It's not really anything. It's like a little scribble. Cool. If you only have your pencil, let's erase any of those extra pencil marks. Oh, forgot my little... And if you actually have a little marker, I will go in and draw on top so I can really finalize this drawing. So we started off with the basic shape, and then we went off, or we went to the petals, and then we worked on the corona. And now we're adding detail and finalizing our drawing. So what I like to do is my basic outline of the flower will be in thicker lines, and then anything like the fold, I like to use thinner lines just so that there is a distinction that there is a fold. And then same thing with any marks that show the direction, I'm using thinner lines. And voila, there you have it. A daffodil. What do you guys think? Did you guys enjoy that? Hopefully. I'm gonna move my camera back to my face in a little bit, but again, yay! I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm just gonna go through this little tips on drawing flowers. Thank you, Shelby. So first tip is start with your basic construction of the flower. Go super basic. Like your triangles, your ovals, your circles, your squares, those shapes. You always want to look for basic shapes. And then you draw the lines that help you with the direction of the petal. Okay. Another tip is so fun to draw something different. Oh, yay. I'm so glad. Thank you for joining. Another tip is to draw lightly. Always draw your underlining lines lightly so that you can build up the line strokes later. Okay. And I'm going to be posting this on Instagram in a little bit. So don't worry, you can screenshot this in a little.